Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of 5 and 5 presented by the NACMA's Brand Management Committee. My name is Ryan Phillips from the University of Dayton, and today we're honored and privileged to be joined by two of the brains behind the brand that is the University of Central Florida, Alex Cesarano and Eric DeSalvo. Gentlemen, how are you doing today?
Good, Ryan. Thanks for having us again, man.
Yeah, thanks, man.
No problem. We're really excited. Today, we're going to talk about a really fun subject. We're going to talk about disruptive marketing and how you're able to expand and grow your brand into some storylines and other things that maybe you weren't supposed to be in, or maybe it doesn't make as much sense, and really how to use some new age marketing techniques while also having some traditional marketing techniques added in to really help expand and grow that brand. So we're going to get started. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to rock and roll?
Let's do it.
Perfect. We're going to put 5 minutes on the clock. First question, real simple, real easy. Somebody walks up to you on the street and says, "Hey, what is brand?" How are you going to respond to that?
Yeah, so I'll start that one off. So I think the first thing that comes to mind, and whether it's athletics, a team, a company, yourself, I think brand is being true to what you are. I don't think you can be someone you're not. And sometimes that happens in this industry where you're trying to do something that is just not fitting within the parameters of how your setup is. Particular to us, I mean, we talked about a little offline, Eric and I. Some of the words we use are, bold, big. We use fast, future. We graduate 15K students per year, and they usually come back and live in Orlando. And then we have 70,000 students here. So we're extremely diverse, and we have to be different. I mean, there's just we can't be in a box. We have to serve our students, student athletes. And when you look at them, they are different, and we need to continue to push that brand wise. So within the UCF brand, that's how we try to, align ourselves with, from the presidential level down to the student level. I mean, it's how we serve them. It's so diverse. We really can't be anything else.
That's incredible. I love the words bold, big, and fast. I think that anybody that's encountered the UCF brand would say they are bold, big, and fast, and constantly finding a way to be in the storyline. And so I'd love to dive into that a little bit. Eric, can you talk a little bit about sort of how it started, where it was like, hey, you know what, we're going to be in the story, we're going to find our way there. And really, why did you guys think that approach of being disruptive was going to be effective for the UCF brand?
Absolutely. I think it starts because we're in the state of Florida, and you've got Florida State, Florida, Miami. You've got three schools who have nearly 100-year head start. We were founded in 63, first class in 69, first graduating class 71, first football team in 79. So we are babies in the grand scheme of things. And so we're always having to, be compared to those schools. And thus we got to do it differently to separate ourselves. And that started with the president on down for years and years. And, for me personally, in 2013, I went from an SID for baseball into this social media role. And Todd Stansberry, who's the AD at Georgia Tech now, was our AD here. He told me, "Hey man, let's push it." And so when I hear from the AD, he wants to push it. Of course, we're going to push it. And, we followed it up because we capitalized on that run to the Fiesta Bowl in 2013 with Blake Bortles and company. And they obviously gave us the platform to push it. And then Danny White comes on board, and everyone knows what happened with Danny White here, but it's the same deal. He wanted to push it. We get the opportunity by going undefeated in 2017. He looks into my camera after we beat Auburn in the Peach Bowl and says, "National champs undefeated." The next day, he's telling me, "I just paid the coaches their national championship bonuses. We're all in. Keep pushing it." Of course, I'm going to keep pushing it. We go and we hire Terry Mahajer last year. To the day, he comes in, one of the most high energy guys ever. And he's naturally going to want to push it. And so that alignment's been there time and time again here at UCF. So our brand is going to continue to be that. And because it starts up top and it comes and works its way down to the people in here, as well as our student athletes and our fans. They completely feed off that.
I love that. I think that it really is incredible. And talking about that alignment from the top down really seems like it gives you guys the freedom to be able to do what you do, be creative, and come up with new ideas and really roll with it. And I think that that's where I kind of want to go next, is really talk a little bit about how do you determine your spots, or sort of the moments when you say, you know what, we are going to go with this, or we are going to be a little bit more disruptive. And when you're going and plotting and planning and figuring that out, how do you determine what the best way is to be disruptive?
Yeah, I'll jump in to start. we use traditional media to make a digital splash. We're going to use a billboard that is going to be talked about on social. If we get a picture of a billboard that just may happen to be up in Gainesville because we chose for it to be there, we're going to get a picture of it and make sure another outlet puts that out for us. Hello, Reddit College Football, right? We're going to pick our spots to use traditional media to make that digital splash and keep the conversation going outside of where you're seeing it on the highway. And then Alex can let you know how we start things from an in-venue standpoint that come onto social.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I think the word I want to use is intentional. Everything we do is with the intent of doing X, Y, Z, right? So like you said, the billboard is a great example. We did it back in the spring before I got back here, but then we did it right after the win. The intent was not just for visual, but it helps in recruiting. And like I said, the best thing that could have happened was Reddit picking it up, right? I mean, it's a billboard in Gainesville. Yes, people see it, but it's amongst a lot of billboards. And to kind of take it back even further, we did it. We went to the NIT. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. We bought a billboard off Times Square. Eric's crew goes down there and makes it feel like we got the prime space in Times Square because we're able to
Taco fall on it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's all in placement, but again, alignment and intention. Like it goes in venue too. Like I think if we're doing our job in venue wise well, we're creating those moments so Eric can capture and then make you feel as though, man, I really like I guess as a student or a fan, like, oh man, I missed that. Like I need to be at the next game, and that's how we kind of grow it.
That's incredible. I think that really, I mean, what you guys have been doing has been nothing short of amazing. I think you could ask almost anybody in the country who the national champs were back a couple of years ago, and UCF is going to pop into their brain, whether they realize it or think about it or not. And everything else that you guys have done since then has been nothing short of insane to really help your guys' brand. I think that the final question really want to pose to both of you, and Eric, we'll start with you with this. If you're sitting there sort of at that mid-level point in your career, so somebody who's been in the industry for a couple of years, has seen sort of how things work, has some ideas, but they're trying to get that alignment from the top down, or they're trying to push this idea to really help expand their brand, maybe be a little bit more disruptive. What's that one piece of advice that you would give to them as they go through and they're going through the process that you guys have been through and really creating more of a brand presence and being a little more disruptive?
I think it's just doing the homework on your brand and being somewhere where you can be disruptive if that's what you want to be. If you've got these creative minds, creative ideas, and you want to implement them at your school, come to your bosses with the plan of why it makes sense for y'all to do that. Give them that why, and give them a reason to not to say no. Because I know 9 times out of 10, I'm going to get an idea thrown my way. And if it makes sense for us, and I've seen them do the homework on fleshing that idea out, I'm going to say yes, because why not? It gives somebody that chance to kind of put their stamp on it. And that's what I would say is run it out. Give them a reason not to say no.
That's awesome. Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I guess kind of taking more of the perspective of like at the mid-tier level, you know, I think you've established yourself in the industry, you can do the job, but kind of playing off what Eric is, as you're interviewing places, for me, find the place that you fit best. You're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you. Everybody in that room that's being interviewed can do the job. What is the best fit? And like personally for me, like being in Orlando, major metropolitan area, I'm from Miami originally, like this is a nice change of pace. This is exactly what I want. And then from a professional side, being disruptive, like I know that I'm not going to fit well in a brand that's going to be structured in the box, but not to say someone else can't. I think when you go on those interviews, you really got to think about, okay, I'm applying for this. Does their brand fit me? And vice versa? Because if it doesn't fit, you could get a job. And then ultimately, you know, and I hate to say it, but like sometimes it doesn't fit and you either leave the industry or, you know, you move jobs to find that. But I think if you chase money, that's the big issue. I think if you got to chase the fit, and sometimes you may think you're going to get a job and you don't, and it's just a fit thing. It happens. I mean, you got to interview as much as they got to interview you. I think that's something that I tried to do when I was at that level.
Boom. That's absolutely perfect. The final thing I have for you guys is if somebody wanted to connect with you, talk more about being disruptive, talk more about your career path or anything like that, how can they connect with you? And Alex, we'll start with you, and then Eric, you can go after Alex.
So I'm really big on Twitter. I got about 157 followers. I'd love to get to 160. So I put my handle right there, at Cesarano _. Twitter's fine. I mean, if you reach out to me, I think it's important to if someone's asked, spare some time, but give back. I mean, any way I can. I mean, just shoot me a message there. Wow, it seems weird to say that. Or old school, just shoot me an email, or I can give you my cell phone number. I really doesn't matter. Done that before.
Perfect.
Whatever's easiest. I just want to help. I mean, I think the industry, we all need to help each other a little bit when we can.
Absolutely. I'm on Twitter at Eric DeSalvo, just my full name. My DMs are open. I'll do my best to answer questions.
Eric, you only have like 160 some followers, right? You're right there.
I'm trying to get up 175 if I can. Yep.
We're gonna get him verified, man. We're gonna call Twitter.
Boom. That's perfect. Both of you, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you everybody for joining us here for the NACMA 5 and 5 presented by NACMA's Brand Management Committee. If you're looking for more amazing hashtag content, be sure to view all the different NACMA channels. And until then, we hope you have a great rest of the day.